A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation. We've packed up shop on the East Coast and moved over to the West Coast. And as the sun sets over beautiful Fontana, California, the sun is also beginning to set on season number 6 for the Venom Truck Series. With just 3 rounds to go, we find ourselves in the midst of round number 14 of the season here at Auto Club Speedway for the Bubonic Bomb Booty 170 presented by Terminal Velocity Racing. And as everybody should know by this point, Auto Club is a favorite of the Booth Boys here on Turn 200. We expect nothing less than an all-out brawl as things start to shape up down the stretch here in the points battle for the drivers of the Venom Truck Series. It's Tommy Cook, it's Matt Williamson. We are back here after, well, it's been a long day for me. I don't know about you, Matt, but I'm happy to be in my happy place here on Turn 200 with the Venom Truck Series, and happy to be here at Auto Club as well.
Yeah, certainly great to be here at Auto Club. Here with the Venom Truck Series, we are in for a good one here. A lot of our, well, I guess I should say all 3 of our title contenders at this point are all very good on this track. One of them is a previous Auto Club winner in the Venom Truck Series, so we are ready to rock, we are ready to roll, and get down to the nitty-gritty. Only 3 races left of this championship fight.
Absolutely, and in this championship fight, and apologies for the abrupt on-air, had some things going on today. Wasn't able to make the broadcast look as fancy as we normally do and doll it up properly. But rest assured, Nathan Reynolds is heading into tonight as the points leader after a dominant performance at Dover last week. He leads by 15 points over his teammate John Kay, oddly enough, who finished 13 positions behind him at the end of the race last week after some late race problems. Andy Poliski's race did not start off well at Dover, and it continued to stay that way, I guess. He, ironically enough, comes into tonight 32 points behind Nathan Reynolds. Statistically, a good track for Andy Policky. Statistically, not enough data to know what John Kay is going to get up to tonight. Statistically, one of the worst tracks, oddly enough, for Nathan Reynolds. And we'll talk about that as tonight's race rolls along. We appreciate everybody coming by here to Turn 200 to watch the drivers in the Venom Truck Series as they get ready to do what they do best. Battle it out for 85 laps around the 2-mile virtual Auto Club Speedway for round number 14 of the 6th season of Venom Truck Series competition. And one driver who is having a whale of a rookie season is Nathan Palawota, one of the drivers of Terminal Velocity Racing, the namesake of this race. It is his 4th career pole, and I guess they're in about his 4th pole of the season. Brandon Gainey, stellar qualifying effort for him tonight. He will start on the outside of the front row. Then it is Nathan Reynolds. He has never finished better than 6th on a 2-mile oval in Venom Truck Series competition. Oddly enough, he did that here at Auto Club in the inaugural race of Venom Truck Series competition. Preach Luke Peterson coming off of a podium finish last week at Dover will start on the outside of row number 2. Andy Policky, much better starting position for him here tonight. He needs to make something happen. He starts at 5th. Kevin Sargent, another great qualifying effort for him, hoping that he can stay up here throughout tonight's race, starting at 6th. Steve Roman and John Kay on row number 4, your title contender, starts in 8th. Michael Dean and Mark Dillon Jr. back in the field here tonight, rounds out your top 10 starters. Rodney Matney and TJ Bartell on row number 6, teammates there from Raging Moose Racing. Rudy Gunter, second place finisher last week, starts at 13th. Paul Ellison starts his outside. Will Salmoni and Kyle Zittel on row number 8. Oz Kanar, another Terminal Velocity driver, starting back at 17th. Michael Kroll finished runner-up here in Season 3. He starts at 18th here tonight. Welcome back to the field for driver number 11. And your top 20 starters rounded out by Garrett Rainey and Jan Van Leer, a California driver. As we scroll through the rest of the starting lineup here, Matt Williamson, some race strategy and track conditions abundant here tonight at Auto Club Speedway.
Certainly are. Here we're going to look at the track conditions as far as the weather goes. It's pretty cool, 87 degrees Fahrenheit on the track temperatures. So looking pretty good for the drivers of the Venom Truck Series here tonight. Fuel window is about 35 laps. Might be able to stretch it a few more, but that means that this is going to be a 2-stop race if it all goes green. We also have 3 extra sets of tires, 0 faster pairs as always. And we have 85 laps, like I mentioned here tonight. So a lot of racing to do here tonight. We're going to have to be patient, but those points contenders are going to have to be aggressive.
You said if it all goes green. We've never had a caution here in the Venom Truck Series at Auto Club. We'll see if that changes tonight. Green flag, and we are underway. Palawota with the early jump, 3 wide. Dean, Kevin Sargent, and John Kay making a big time on the outside.
Title contenders Reynolds and Policky. We're front to nose. Here goes Policky underneath the 38.
There. As Palawota going to bring the field back to the line, 2 and 3 wide, all throughout the field behind him as they try and sort themselves out.
Policky was not able to make the move.
They're all right there. Reynolds and Kay up high. Policky now. Luke Peterson down low.
John Kay, a bit of an unusual paint scheme for him. A bit of a Sheldon Creed paint scheme here. Not what we're used to seeing, so he kind of fooled me a bit. I was looking for him.
The old wheelin' it paint scheme. This is what we love about Auto Club here. It's the pseudo-pack style start to these races that we'll have until we get maybe a green flag pit cycle, to sort of break this field up. Otherwise, they're going to sort of roll like this.
Policky finally cleared Nathan Reynolds there in the last set of corners.
Oh, Peterson checks up not to tag Reynolds. They were about to collide. Peterson's going to lose out big time, but he doesn't wreck the boss man. That's probably the most important thing.
Palawota continues to lead it. Brantley Gainey in second, but he is under fire here from Andy Policky.
Andy Policky said he was feeling confident about tonight and the rest of the season, quite frankly, and he needs confidence. He needs every bit of it that he can get. 32 points into the hole coming into tonight, but he's won here at Auto Club before. Can't quite get it done on Gainey just yet. Now, oddly enough, we'll drop back and look for some help from Nathan Reynolds. And John Kay.
Yeah, John Kay right here behind the 22.
Kay's not going to help Policky. He is going to push Brantley Gainey past the 32. Gainey now free to roam any lane that he wants. All while Paluota leads by 0.7 of a second up front.
And John Kay pushing Gainey has now gotten past Reynolds. So has the 0-1 of Brody Gunter, is at least even with them for right now. So Reynolds sliding back just a bit here.
Brody Gunter has wasted no time moving his way up through the field. +8 already on lap number 5. A great start for the 0-1.
Got Wes Brown in the chat, cheering on Rodney Matney as always. Matney sitting just outside the top 10 for right now.
Yeah, no reason to panic at this point. Coming to lap number 6, still well in touch with the leaders here.
Paluota may have gotten into the wall a bit off of 4.
An unforced error for the leader. He did give up a little bit of time that lap, but still in control by about 6.5 of a second here. As John Kay now moving to the outside of Brantley Gainey, looking to take spot number 2 away. Policky trying to slot in behind Kay, elects not to do so. Now John is going to get the run underneath of Gainey, trying to take the second position away.
John looking to make a slider work here because Gainey will have the momentum off the top side for the front stretch. He is clear now, slides up in front of the 22. Now covers off Reynolds, or excuse me, Policky.
Policky having a hard time getting around Brantley Gainey.
Oh.
Gainey going to move down the track, trying to leave room for Brody Gunter up top. Gunter.
This is going to be
that is
tight off of
tight.
2.
Gainey tries to move down the track to give as much room to Gunter as possible, but you want to limit your lateral movement through these turns as much as possible.
Oh.
Don't forget how rough this track surface is.
Yeah, you can see the trucks bouncing there into turn number 3. It looked like a little bit of contact on entry for Gainey and Gunter there as well.
Nathan Reynolds right here, maybe trying to push Brody Gunter around on the top side as Froman and Dean are duking it out behind them.
Yeah, Dean absolutely pushing the living daylights out of the 00 there.
32 trucks on the battlefield here tonight. That's the biggest field we've had in a few weeks. Seems like all of our part-time or reduced schedule drivers are here tonight, other than maybe Jeremy McKinnon, who could have made it a 33.
Let's go ahead. We'll go car inside with Nathan Reynolds. I see battles with Gainey on the bottom. You can see the nose of the 22 there.
Like I said, Nathan Reynolds may be the most statistically sound driver, as he is going to be able to clear Brantley Gainey down the back straightaway. Most statistically sound driver in Venom Truck Series history, but he's yet to even score a top 5 at a 2-mile oval. He finished 6th here on June 21st of 2021. That is the very first ever Venom Truck Series race, and he has yet to finish that good at either Michigan or Auto Club since then.
And the snake going on in front of him. John Kay and Andy Policky were battling. And they have Paluota right in front of them. We're going to go ahead and go car inside with Andy Policky now, who has John Kay in front. They're trying to reel in the leader right now. The number 6 of Nathan Paluota has dropped back a little bit to these two.
Yeah, only a couple of tenths.
Now Policky works the inside here.
Now, mathematically, Paluota still in this championship battle as well. Top 8 drivers still have a theoretical path to the title, but only the top 3 after tonight are likely to have a mathematical path to the championship, unless Paluota can pull off something big here tonight. It's not out of the question, as Paluota's led every lap thus far.
Well, not only would he have to pull off something big himself, he would have to have detrimental races from those drivers behind him as well.
It's not out of the question. These top 3 have separated themselves from the pack this season, but they have not been without their problems. Every one of them has had 2 or 3 races that they definitely want back. It's not out of the question, especially with a night like tonight that can get wild. Talladega is going to be wild next week. And Charlotte is Charlotte. It doesn't like people.
Now we're going to go car inside with John Kay as he pulls up to the right rear of Paluota here in turn number 1. Out of 2, looks to get a big run. He'll dive to the inside in 3 most likely. Here he goes.
Big move for Kay. Paluota looking for the run off the top side, moves down, tries to side draft the right rear corner. They touch! Kay to the wall!
And Kay is dropping like a box of rocks right now, trying to get this thing going. Not sure if it's because of damage or if he just lost a ton of momentum.
Probably
and everybody else,
both.
Yeah. When you hit the wall like that out of 4, you just lose all the momentum you had, and everybody else is still carrying it. He is dropping fast.
Paluota tried to stay tight to his right rear quarter panel, but now Paluota has bigger problems as Policky and Reynolds are right here to attack.
Paluota almost in the wall there out of 4.
And like I was going to say, Paluota was trying to hug the right rear quarter of John Kay. Kay said he hit a seam and slipped up as, the caution is out. Problems for, I think, Ryan Dye.
Dye is in the grass here on the front stretch.
Dye, I think, is going to get a bump from Oz Kanar, and that is going to send him spinning into the infield. But the good news for Ryan Dye is he is not going to hit anything.
So this is the first caution at Auto Club and Venom Truck Series competition.
You know what they say?
Don't even say it.
Is one enough? We'll find out. But first, here's a look at the old handy-dandy replay, perhaps.
Yep, we're coming through turns 3 and 4 here. Dye right here in the middle in that Virginia Tech number 9 machine. He drifts up the track a bit and I think gets loose. Oz Kanar just gets right to the back of him. And Kanar just tags the right rear. And it turns Dye straight down. He tries to correct it, but overcorrects a bit. Starts to come up the track, and he is just all over the place. Does a great job of getting it corralled pretty quickly. But he'll go for a ride through the grass. But, I mean, damage-wise, he's going to be just fine. He's just going to have terrible track position now.
Unfortunately, after qualifying, pretty deep in the field, I think 24th, he was riding in 17th, so it made a decent amount of progress in the opening stretch of the race. But it's going to be all uphill battling again for Ryan Dye, who has never finished outside of the top 10 here at Auto Club. Some time to fix that, though, as the field will hit pit road, or most of them anyways. Leader Nathan Paluota has stayed out.
Yeah, a few drivers have stayed out here. A little bit surprised. Ryan Dye is going to be one of them.
All right.
So Dye doesn't think he has much damage, which I would agree.
I would be more concerned with the tires at that point. Also, Oz Kanar stays out. So the Terminal Velocity teammates and one of the drivers they've uprooted this race is the one that's going to tag behind him here. Kanar, by the way, over the radio, I mean, almost as soon as it happened, was apologizing to Ryan. So, and Palomoda and John Kay were talking over the radio right after their incident as well, and there was no hard feelings, a positive discussion. So, all is well in Venom Truck Series land, despite the incident battling for the lead and the caution. Somehow, and I missed how, but Pascal Simard has picked up a meatball flag. So, okay, as the field is checking up for the pace car, Pascal Simard locks the brakes up and hits the outside wall. And I mean, he's on the bottom of the track and he goes all the way up into the wall. So, luckily, it didn't seem like a ton of damage, but I'm sure maybe the sim registered the control arm coming loose or some sort of mount in the right front. Either way, it was a quick fix. I don't think he was even going to lose a lap. So, and in and out of pit road for driver number 76.
And you mentioned the incident with John Kay. Let's go ahead and try to take a look at the replay of that incident here. This is going into 3. Kay on the bottom, Palomoda on the top. You mentioned Palomoda trying to get he's just trying to get a big run here off of turn number 4, and he just comes down while John Kay's coming up, barely tags that right rear, but sends Kay up into the wall.
At this point in the run, it's a loose track, so it's not going to take much in the way of contact in the back of the truck to make it just unsavable.
Yeah, no, I mean, at that point, it's very, very difficult to get that thing corralled. I mean, we saw Ryan die with this incident that brought out the caution. He just kind of lost the nose just a touch coming up the track, and that was enough to slow him way down, and Oskanar just really didn't expect him to slow down that much.
So 3 drivers have stayed out, including the 2 drivers that brought out the caution. Nathan Palomoda leads the field. He's led every lap thus far. But now he and his teammate Oskanar and Ryan Dye are all off sequence on lap number 18. Policky and Reynolds, 2 of the title contenders, side by side for 4th. And now, going to look underneath of Ryan Dye to take it 3 wide. Reynolds rolls out of it, thinks better of it.
Whew, man, pretty loose there for Steve Vroman coming off that top side as well. He's got Gunter pushing him right behind, and Michael Dean pushing Gunter. So we are pretty stacked up here, just inside the top 10.
Fresh tires for Policky may be able to get the job done here quick. Andy Policky to the lead down the front stretch. New leader, 32.
I'm very, very surprised that Palomoda did not come in for tires. Pretty much everybody else did. Still would have had the track position. He may be about to regret it right here.
Steve Vroman. Robbed last week, robbed of a good finish last night as well. It's he's been being held at gunpoint and stripped of his finishing position rather frequently here on turn 200 of late. Would like to change that tonight.
Well,
he's up to second, but now Gunter looking for third. They are all sorts of out of shape behind him.
Yeah, it's a great restart here for the 00 Steve Vroman, though. I think he started back in 6th or 7th, found his way up to second here before being challenged by the 01 of Gunter.
Man, Brody Gunter, I thought he had this kind of pace after our preseason races. Fortune didn't go his way at the opening stretch of the season. And then we didn't see him again until 2 weeks ago. And he has not left the top 5 pretty much since he came back.
Oh, Gunter squeezing Vroman a little bit on the top side here.
Brody Gunter in second. Vroman in third, Reynolds in fourth. And don't look now, but Will Salamone up in the top 5 is
Caution is
trouble.
out.
Truck in the grass, it's Kenneth Graves.
Jan Van Leer as well.
Yes, Jan Van Leer. I'm not sure what happened to... So, okay, this is going to start at the entrance of turn 3 with Oz Kanar and Jan Van Leer.
We'll have to back it up here. Well, Graves is also 3 wide here coming into turn number 3. They were just a lot of action going on here. So, Oskanar, he's trying to turn down, arc this corner here. Jan Van Leer was trying to go more straight and basically keep on that same seam. Kanar goes way up the track. Jan Van Leer is going to go for a spin down onto the apron. Not quite sure where Graves comes into the picture here.
A little bit later, he's going to roll through. Jan is just kind of riding on the apron.
Oh, yeah, they get super, super stacked up here. Graves just really doesn't know where to go.
Yeah, it was a strange one.
Well, he comes onto the scene, just barely tags that right side of the 5. A few more coming down pit road here.
Yep, Mark Dillon Jr., Jeremy Carter, Kenneth Graves, Pascal Samar, Tyler Bergert, and Jan Van Leer. It's good to see Pony Express at full strength again for the first time since, I believe, the All-Star Open. Mark Dillon Jr., Kenneth Graves, and Tyler Bergert all here and rocking and rolling tonight. Unfortunately, it's not been the start to the race they were looking for, but maybe getting off sequence for the other two. They'll join Kenneth Graves, who I'm sure had to make a couple of repairs, and they'll get back underway.
Also, shout out, I think we missed a couple people in the chat here. Stickers McQueen, love that name. Cheering on Rodney Matney as well. And Chloe Teixeira, cheering on Jan Van Leer, who had just had some unfortunate incident. He was he was fine up until he hit the inside wall off the contact with Graves. I think he has quite a bit of damage to that left front. But he's still in the pits trying to get it fixed.
Jan knows how to get it done here. He's got a podium finish to his credit here at Auto Club. So hopefully it's not over for Jan. I don't think it would be, but hopefully he can stay on the lead lap and get after it here.
Another one of our car inside drivers that we haven't featured yet here tonight is now going to start in the top 10, starting 10th. It's Kyle Zittel.
And to mention as well that Ryan Dye was one of the drivers that came down pit road under this caution, which means that the 2 terminal velocity drivers are still the only 2 that have yet to come down pit road. But Paloota slipped back to the 8th position. He'll be on the outside of the 4th row here. With Luke Peterson to his inside. Row number 3 will be Will Salamone and Michael Dean. Row number 2, Steve Roman and Nathan Reynolds. And Andy Policky and Brody Gunter.
Caitlin McLaughlin in the chat cheering on Brantley Gainey. I'm sure Gainey was right at the front of the field on the front row for a while. He slipped back a little bit, maybe altering pit strategy or just didn't have a great pit stop, falling back to about 15th place here.
I don't think he had a good restart last time. Was just inside of the top 10 and then slipped back pretty quickly. So hopefully things will change here for Brantley Gainey. He can make his way back up front. This field still trying to get in order here, but the green flag is going to fly. Not a super great restart through the field.
Yeah, pretty stacked up here.
And who's not going to complain about that is Andy Policky. He is rocking and rolling as the 00 and the 01 are side by side for second. Vroman going to slide up and take second away from Gunter by force.
Awfully tight there between those two through turns 1 and 2. Vroman gets the best of the 01 for now.
Vroman trying to charge with a head of steam before Gunter can launch a counter-offensive. Gunter to the outside. As Nathan Paluota, man, on these old tires, he is starting to struggle. But he's got an extra set compared to everybody else, so maybe that's the strategy here. We'll have to see.
Well, I guess he's going for a one-stopper on fuel, but everybody else, we had run enough laps.
Oh, trouble! Mark Dillon Jr., I think, is involved.
Oh, Ryan Dye and Kenneth Graves involved again.
Oh, man. It is problems. I think this one is going to start. It's going to involve Oz Kanar again, but I don't think it's Kanar's fault. Dillon is way up the track and is going to get turned hard.
Look at that. This is Oz Kanar. His day is probably more than done here.
That was
taking a look at the replay. I think Dillon just expecting Kanar, who's on the top.
And on older tires.
Yeah. He's just expecting him to kind of ride the wall, which is really, really sketchy here out of this turn. So Kanar is trying to not do that. Dillon expecting him to do that, it looks like. And comes right up into the nose of the 16. And then Kanar gets turned down the track. This is where Ryan Dye and Kenneth Graves will get involved. See Berger way down here trying to take evasive action. Wow, he narrowly missed that one. So more pit stops underway for a few.
Yep, Breeding, Simard, Van Leer, Bergert, Graves, and Dye. Of course, they were involved. Jan still has damage from the previous caution that he needs to take care of. Simard has had a dust up. So I think Eric Breeding is the unscathed one to hit the pits here. Sporting a pretty decent looking truck tonight as well.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about Breeding much. He is rocking this turn to 100 paint scheme. Sent me a message the other day and asked if that was all right, and I said it is more than okay to sport turn 200 anytime you would like. He threw in a little flavor with the two of us there on the back of bumper. I think we may get beat up a little bit here tonight. But that is a nice looking truck right there.
That is a great looking truck. The tailgate certainly is questionable, but it's a target for somebody. So that's
better than what Ryan Dye was in the Daredevil series last week.
Well, you didn't like that?
It was quite the surprise, I will say.
Yes. Speaking of the Daredevils, boy, do they have a show in store tomorrow.
They certainly do. Monza combined, so they get to run the big oval turning right plus the road course. It'll be something.
It's the road course minus the first chicane. So it's the F1 road course without that pesky first chicane that everybody has to slow down for. No, you don't have to slow down for a while. It's going to be something. High speeds is an understatement. Everybody is going to be shocked.
When they sail it off, turning right into that first big oval corner, I think that will tell the story of what we're about to see for the rest of the evening.
I think you are correct. So may God have mercy on everybody's souls in Italy tomorrow. As Andy Policky up front here tonight, just blinking a little bit. Nathan Pallavona sends a warning to the field that says, I am certainly a little bit off the pace with my older tires, which I can't argue with that.
I'm just very curious that he hasn't come in for them on the cautions that we've had. Quite the strategy to still stay out there.
No cautions in the first two races in series history here at Auto Club. And in race number 3, we are up to 3 cautions already. So we're making up for lost time here at Auto Club. Green flag is back a-waving on lap number 30.
Policky out to a great start here. Vroman and Gunter right back to their old antics. And right behind Nathan Reynolds, it's a big cluster.
Oh, it's a cluster, all right.
Salamone up 10 spots and looking for more. He is on the move. Oh, wow, Reynolds slides right up in front of Michael Dean. That was awfully close.
About 6 inches to spare off the front bumper of the 73.
And now here goes Gunter looking for the lead. He pulled to the outside of the 32.
Brody Gunter led a lap under the pit cycle last week at Dover, but looking for his first laps out front here in the back half of the season.
Policky trying to fight back here on the inside. Now slides in behind the 01, and now will dive down here. Here comes Michael Dean.
Dean not clear on Reynolds. Reynolds going to fight back. Drummond trying to break the draft and get the draft. It's having your cake and eating it too. But around the outside, Brody Gunter to the top spot. Dean up the track, rolls out of it, doesn't tag Reynolds. Nathan is going to reclaim the 4th position. Dino now fighting with Zittel to stay in the top 5.
Yeah, Kyle Zittel up to 5th now. He's just been strong and steady.
It's not a super speedway, but it's a draft-style track. You can't be surprised that he's up here.
No, he's definitely bigger at these. He's definitely bigger. He's definitely better at these bigger tracks. And you can see from that camera angle, the right rear of Nathan Reynolds has quite a bit of damage to it. Zittel trying to squeeze in on the outside, couldn't quite get there. Here goes Andy Policky to the bottom for the lead.
Gunter not leaving Andy much operating space there on the bottom of the track. Policky a little bit loose, but fighting back to try and retake the top spot.
Now Vroman, he is going to look to help the 32. They all get in line now.
It's not a must-win for Andy Policky tonight, but it is a must-perform, and Policky has done just that as they are almost 3 wide behind them. Going to sort themselves out, but not by much.
Now Zittel has Michael Dean right on that back bumper. Dean really working this top side here. Zittel trying to do the same, but maybe a half a lane or 1 lane down from where the 73 is running.
This is why Auto Club absolutely rules. Every single square inch of space on this track can be used at any point.
Oh, and now Zittel looks to the outside of Reynolds.
Reynolds and Vroman side by side for third. Vroman with a better run.
Oh, wow.
Trying to make a move, maybe. Nope, Policky going to make the move. Remember, Vroman and Policky are teammates. Gunter's got no help inside the top 10, but it's not looking like he needs a ton of it right now.
Gunter carrying the momentum. So does Vroman. Vroman's trying to help his teammate.
Oh, Reynolds thought about taking a look there. Policky sends it deep into one. Dino up by the wall, trying to hang on. We are 2 wide, 3 deep here for the top 6. And don't look now, Paul Ellison is pulling the train up to make this a little more interesting. As if we needed it.
Really deep there. He's going to slide in front of Gunter.
Policky back to P1. Side by side for third. Vroman with help from Dean. Reynolds all by his lonesome on the bottom. They're both closing in on Gunter. Gunter might find himself in the middle of 3 wide. Nope. Covers off Vroman. He'll get a shot from Steve down the backstretch as Gunter tries to fend off Nathan Reynolds. Incredible stuff. Reynolds not clear.
Up the track a bit. He's trying to get to that outside line, I think. Just couldn't quite get there. Going for a bit of a side draft here on the front stretch, and now we'll dive down into the bottom of turn 1. Oh, Gunter with a bit of a problem. Vroman's around him on the outside.
Loses second, loses third. Now is under fire from Michael Dean for 4th.
Oh, and Dean sends it in super deep.
Oh,
up
they're going to touch. Gunter keeps it out of the wall. I don't know how. I'm not sure they're keeping it out of the wall behind him. I think Paul Ellison just got put up there, maybe with contact from Kevin Sargent. It was awfully close, but Ellison, I think, got up in the wall. As here goes Nathan Reynolds to the outside of Andy Policky. You called it, I think, with Reynolds wanting to get to this top side. Look at this run. He's going to get down the back straightaway. All over Andy.
Here it is, the car inside camera for Nathan Reynolds as he is looking to the bottom for the lead.
Policky going to fight back with everything he's got on this outside. By a couple of inches, Reynolds is going to be clear to move up to the top. Policky will move down to the middle and tuck in right behind Reynolds. Reynolds up the track. Policky trying to fight back on the bottom. Takes the middle away. Takes his entry away. Another decent run here for Reynolds, but Policky doing a whale of a job hanging on to the bottom.
And Policky getting a bit of help here from the teammate and Steve Vroman.
Policky is clear. Reynolds surging back on the outside. Policky with the block. The slider from Policky and the crossover from Reynolds.
Now this is some racing right here. My goodness.
Auto Club never fails to disappoint, and neither do Policky and Reynolds. They battle up front so often. Put this one on the list. Probably near the top of it at this point. Reynolds clear, goes for another slider. Policky will have a run. Policky back to the bottom.
Policky with the crossover. We got him here on the car and side camera, ultra focused.
Policky with a
Huge
whale
run.
of a push from Steve Roman. Maybe too much of a push. They leave the bottom open, but Reynolds now is fighting for second underneath of Roman. Policky cleared for the time being. 41 laps complete in this 85-lap race. I don't want it to end. Let's make it 140. Why not?
And we have Kyle Zittel sitting here in fourth. He's gotten around Brody Gunter, and he has a great look at this battle in front of him, and it's allowing him to pull up right to the back here of Reynolds.
And Michael Dean was up there. He has faded a little bit. Zittel and Gunter gotten back past the 73. Dino right now lurking in sixth as we are single file through the top five. Dean and Peterson about to go at it for sixth.
Oh, and I hate to see this. I didn't even realize it. State Line Sim Racing. Ryan Dye is in the chat, and he is done for the evening as Reynolds is looking to the inside of Steve Roman here.
Yep, two back-to-back accidents, for Ryan Dye. That'll do most people in. And I think the strength of field, to answer JJ Wang's question, between Monday nights and Tuesday nights is pretty close. But strength of field doesn't really matter when you get racing like this. Throw that out the window. Throw all my stats out the window. This is what it's all about right here. Vroman doing everything he can to keep Reynolds behind.
See Michael Dean back here still just sailing it on the top side. That is what he's been up to all night long. He has Luke Peterson and Kevin Sargent now behind him. What a great run for Sargent here in the top 10 right now.
Sargent did not get a great run at his home track last week at Dover after a good qualifying effort. Another good qualifying effort tonight, and he is rocking and rolling in the top 10. As your top three with a mini breakaway here, Kyle Zittel is sort of heaving and hoeing on whether or not he is going to play spoiler in this group, although he gets a great run into turn number one, so I'd say he is firmly in this group now. He might be bringing Gunter, Dean, and Peterson, and Kevin Sargent with him.
Oh, pushing the pusher a bit here. Reynolds right on the bumper of the 00. The 00 right on the back bumper of the 32.
Reynolds backs up his entry to the turn. Should have a pretty good run on Vroman here. Might have to make something happen into one. But Vroman going to play as much defense as he can. So most of these guys, actually I think all of these guys in this group came in under the first caution. When do you think we're going to see some pit stops start to take place here under green, assuming we are under green?
Well, I'm sitting here trying to even remember when the first caution came out. I think most of our drivers, I think it was around lap 15.
I think it was on lap 15, yes.
So going off of that, 45, probably lap 50, around 50 is when we're going to see him come in. Now, we have had some cautions in between then as well, so could go a few laps farther probably. I'm going to say between laps 50 and 55 is likely.
And we think lap 50-ish is around when the window to make it to the end is going to open. So that is convenient for them. As Vroman and Reynolds now side by side for second. Reynolds should be pretty close to getting clear on Vroman here. Steve hanging tough here. Even with the right rear quarter panel, it's enough for Reynolds not to be able to move up the track. Reynolds trying to get the draft from Policky. It's got to feel so good for Policky, who is going to run Reynolds out of room there on the bottom for a tough three-race stretch.
And it's got to feel great for Kyle Zittel as well, coming off a second place last night in Truck 200 at Daytona. Now in the top 4, right behind your current points leader in Reynolds.
And he is here. He is about to Florida State University, if you catch my drift.
Lindsey G in the chat as well, as always. Thanks for watching. Here goes Kyle Zittel to the bottom. Reynolds now working that extreme high line.
We got a pretty big run. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to go anywhere with it. Whoa, Dean and Gunter and Zittel all nearly collide there in turn 3. It was close.
And it
Dean
allows...
Wow.
Dean with a huge run here. Speaking of Lindsey G, Brantley Gainey is up a lot of spots from his restart. Did not have a great position on this last restart. Up into the top 10 now.
Whoa! Froman and Reynolds make contact in a 1. They are both up the track. Zittel tracking down Nathan Reynolds again.
The tires are starting to go away. These trucks are starting to get a little bit loose, and everybody is hanging it on out here.
Reynolds back underneath of Froman. Exactly a lane to work with. Like you said, it's hard to place your truck in the right position here.
When you're loose and you're trying to get the power down off of these sweeping corners, it is so difficult not to, number one, get tight, and then number 2, try to turn the wheel too much to get that turn and then get yourself loose off the corner.
Froman's got a big run. I'm assuming since he has not made any sort of move on Policky already that he has sort of given himself team orders to make sure the 32 stays up front for as long as possible here. Because he's had a couple of good looks up to this point and has not taken any of them, has just sent them directly into the back bumper of the 32.
Big run here from Zittel on the outside of Reynolds.
Zittel is not here to help anybody. Zittel is here for Zittel. And it is long past overdue for the decent one to return to victory lane.
You can see how much this bottom lane has slowed down speed-wise. Just about 10 laps ago, they were still carrying a lot of speed on the bottom of the racetrack, but they have to slow down so much now to get that turn through the center of the corner.
Ooh, Luke Peterson just had to roll out of it not to smack the wall.
Well, him and Sargent are still going at it. They've been going at it for the better part of 10 or 12 laps here, as we have a few coming into pit now.
John Kay was on pit road last time in. Get Rainey, Paul Ellison, Corey Rutherford. Expect Jeremy Carter, Tyler Berger, Kyle Dumick, Gary Clark all on pit road as well. I've been so caught up watching this battle up front that I forgot to look at the pits because we are past lap 50. So everybody should be good to the end.
Yep, Kyle Zittel had gotten around Reynolds. Now is getting a push from Reynolds down the backstretch and on the front stretch here, looking to work together. Oh, there's one around there in the back. I didn't quite see who it was. I think it may have been Corey Rutherford. Yes, Rutherford in the grass here on the front stretch.
Oh, man.
Ryan Dye at State Line Sim Racing also asked if we loaded up trading paints, and yes, I changed my password and loaded up TP for the people.
I'm not running it, but that's Matt's decision, not mine.
I made the decision myself today. Eric Breeding was rocking that Turn 200 paint scheme, and I just wanted to see it so badly. I said, you know what? I'll just change the password, and I'll take my chances here.
Speaking of Eric Breeding, he is on and off of pit road, as is Flinky Roberts. Brantley Gainey, Cole Maxwell on pit road this time, as Zittel just got a hell of a push from Reynolds and is fighting underneath the Froman, but running out of room.
Zittel, great run there off the push from the 38. They're going to look to have another one here down the backstretch into 3. Zittel really great on this long run here.
Oh! Vroman trying to get the pit road and slow down! It is chaos! Dean is loose behind! Absolute insanity!
I don't know how Kyle Zittel saved that truck.
I mean, Policky was loose. Vroman was trying to check up. Zittel slows down into Vroman, gets a bump himself. They're bumping and banging. I think everybody in the top 7 made contact there in that corner. That was insane.
Now here comes John Kay on fresh tires, unlapping himself.
John Kay, always the first to pit road. Again, with the right side damage while he was battling lead. This race has not gone his way. But this could certainly swing things in his favor here. Salamone will be pitting this time. Nathan Reynolds, pretty much everybody coming to pit road here from the front.
Yeah, pretty much the rest of the leaders. I think Samard. Oh no, they're coming. Samard's coming in as well. There's a few that came back in around lap. I don't know, it was around lap 25 when that second or third caution came out. They came into pit and top off, so those drivers can stay out for quite a while still.
Be interesting to see the time loss here after the kerfuffle and staying out one extra lap. Where are Reynolds, Gunter, and Zittel going to come out in comparison to Vroman and Policky?
John Kay is the one trying to cycle out right now. Gunter just now coming out of the pits. And John Kay is he's going to take third here. Graves and Jan Van Leer on first and second, but they will have to come into pit in about 10 laps.
And John Kay, crucially, about 3 seconds clear on Andy Policky as they run.
Not 3 seconds clear of Garrett Rainey, though. Rainey putting in a heck of a run here. Since we took the green flag from that third caution.
From 19th to what we think is going to be second here.
I think this tells a story of how bad the tire fall off is. Kay and Rainey were well behind the leaders. They came in about 5 laps before the leaders did, and now they have gapped them this far. I think that
Brody Gunter just ran through the grass down the front straightaway. I think he lost it on cold tires. So he has lost a ton of positions.
Yeah, he's down to 20th now. He's getting passed by Flinky Roberts.
So slipped that right rear tire and went all the way down through the infield grass down the front straightaway.
Also somebody that we haven't mentioned much is Michael Krall, who hasn't been to many races here this season. He is in the field here tonight.
Another California boy, him and Jan Van Leer.
Speaking of Jan just got extremely loose here off of turn 4.
Jan's picked up damage in an accident and has gotten off sequence. So has the current race leader, Kenneth Graves, and we'll give him his flowers while he's out front. At the,
Oh! Wow, Palawoda nearly in the wall here. Or excuse me, that's not Palawoda, that's TJ Bartel. Bartel running an alternate turn 200 paint scheme here tonight. Little bit of a different color scheme for him, but that same old purple and blue.
Great looking trucks. I wish I could see them.
Well, you can watch the broadcast back and look at them all you want a little bit later.
Policky slowly but surely tracking down Garrett Rainey and John Kay.
Oh, and Ryan Dye says that Reynolds and Vroman hit hard somewhere.
Oh, boy. That did not show up anywhere. I'll go and try and track that down for you. I mean, they hit hard on the entry to pit road. Maybe that's what he's talking about.
And they are well back. Kyle Zittel was right there with them before the green flag pit stops, and he's a good 3 seconds in front of Reynolds, and Roman is about another second behind Reynolds. So, yeah, definitely lost some time there.
So Reynolds and Roman did come out together out of the pits. Well, Reynolds pit the lap after.
Bartel
Oh,
gets
no!
turned!
Oh, man. Man, oh, man. And
TJ Bartel, we know how good he is on the long runs. He finally had one to work with. Seemed to gain a lot of positions from it there, and now gets stuffed into the outside wall.
Well, he came over the radio and took responsibility for it. Gainey sounded perturbed. And to verify what Ryan Dye was saying, yes, Roman and Reynolds made significant contact with one another.
So here we are coming down the front stretch. They had just passed start finish there, and yeah, Bartel is trying to get a good arc into the corners, trying to get right up against the 22 of Gainey to then turn back down, and he just gets into the nose of the 22, and it spins him right around into the wall. Oh no. Lindsey G pointed out that we just jinxed him from praising his paint scheme.
Quite possible.
That's what you get for running the turn 200 truck, I suppose. And pit stops are underway for many here.
Now, Kenneth Graves and Jan Van Leer had yet to hit pit road. I'm not saying that this is going to be a huge benefit to them, but it's not going to be insignificant. We do have about, I'd say, 10 to 12 people on pit road, so those are positions that they are certainly going to gain, and they will have a little bit fresher tires here down the stretch. Graves, Jan Van Leer, Garrett Rainey, Paul Nelson, Rodney Matney, Nathan Palawota, Michael Krall, Nathan Reynolds, Steve Roman, Jeremy Carter, Paul Sargent, Eric Breeding, Gary Clark, and TJ Bartel, all on pit road here. And that will give control of the field to John Kay.
Wow, what a turnaround here for the two. He's on a little bit of an older tire than those behind him, but in the grand scheme of things, not really too bad. I think Reynolds and Roman still in the pits trying to get damage fixed from their incident.
Yeah, and I wish I could tell you exactly what happened. Look to me, I just saw it in passing because I saw it right when the caution actually came out in real time. It looked to me like Roman got loose, was in front of Reynolds, and came down the track into Nathan. And Nathan Reynolds over the radio said he had 2 minutes of optional repairs.
Wow.
So, it definitely was a shot. I'm surprised that nothing alerted me to the fact that those two made contact. But thanks to Ryan Dye for pointing that out. Otherwise, we would have been scratching our heads about that one all night.
Brantley Gainey's coming down pit road now.
And unfortunately, he picked up a black flag.
Oh.
That's not why he's down pit road, but he picked up a black flag coming down pit road. Oh boy, we're coming to a restart with 20 laps to go. And oh, how the turntables. Because it was looking like the Policky and Reynolds show. Now Reynolds looking to be out of it. John Kay now is in control of the field, will elect the outside, but he's on slightly older tires compared to Andy Policky. And look at this field behind him. Kyle Zittel and Kevin Sargent on row 2. And they have had fantastic races, and it's about to be a lot better, hopefully. Michael Dean, Luke Peterson on row 3. Brody Gunter will be saved after the spin down through the grass for him. Restarts in 7th. Flinky Roberts in the top 10, restarting in 8th. Corey Rutherford and Will Salamone, your top 10. $20 to go. I'd say place your bets, but it's not smart money at this point. Still a lot to go. Good restart here for John Kay.
Wow, what a run here for Andy Policky.
And Policky was tracking down John under the green by a couple of tenths a lap. He powers underneath of him to retake the lead. Here comes Kyle Zittel.
And I think Kay may struggle here. I know that he had damage. Not sure if I'm sure it's affecting him, but I don't know how badly. Looks to be pretty significant.
Oh, trouble.
Oh, caution's out.
We're under the caution again. Vroman is involved. Others as well. Garrett Rainey is sideways. I think Michael Kroll is going to get a piece of this as well. Brantley Gainey all the way through the infield grass.
Graves slow here as well. Don't know if he was involved or not.
I think...
Oh, Jan Van Leer is absolutely destroyed.
This is actually 2 crashes in 1. We are 4 wide out of turn 4. Kroll makes contact, sends the truck spinning. Garrett Rainey gets involved there. Then Graves, Vroman, and Jan Van Leer all destroyed in a separate accident behind that. So a 2-for-1 special here at California.
Well, before we went green, I had the track conditions up, and it was on the cool side. So I think some of these drivers on new tires did not take into account that they can't send it into the corners quite like they were. And yeah, there's contact between Kroll and Sargent here. And then Kroll gets up into Carter in the 23, comes back down the track into Sargent. And you mentioned it behind them. Vroman and I think Kenneth Graves, they came together. Unrelated to the incident in front of them. And this is where Jan Van Leer gets destroyed. Steve Vroman gets turned up the track into the wall. Right there, and Reynolds narrowly able to avoid. And you see they can continue to crash in front of them. Gainey, wow, Gainey barely missed that one. Some more pit stops here for the back half of the field.
Yeah, Paul Sargent, Nathan Reynolds, Brantley Gainey, Kenneth Graves, all down pit road. It's been a bit of a rough one, but I mean that one green flag run was some of the best racing we've ever seen on the channel. There's no doubt about it.
Oh, I mean they were just absolutely duking it out. You see there that shot of the right side of John Kay shows the big damage there on the right side, even after he's gone in to try to get it fixed.
And that is damage from very early in this race when he and Nathan Palawota just made a little bit of innocent contact, battling for the lead. Kay went up into the wall, and that is certainly enough to hamper your night. And again, he is on slightly around him, but John Kay is John Kay. He can overcome the tire deficit. I think that the damage is a little bit harder one to make up for.
Most certainly.
Wow. I think we're coming to a restart with 15 laps to go. It's still all going to be crazy up front here. But it's been Andy Poliski's night, and it's been a night that he desperately needed.
Most certainly. I mean, he's been on a bit of a slide here towards the back half of the season, and this is a place he felt really good about, and he told us as much here in the last week or two in the post-race interviews, and he said he felt really good about Auto Club. He'd won here before, and this is one that he had circled, and sure enough, here he is, starting on the front row here. It'll be 15 to go when they take the green flag.
So Policky has been the dominant driver all night today. Will have control of the restart. John Kay will line up on the inside of row number 2 on older tires with a damaged truck. So he is going to be fighting to hang on for every single position here for the rest of this race. And Nathan Reynolds, after what looked to be finally a breakout night on the 2-mile ovals, it is back to statistics as usual for the Intiminator. He is restarting in 24th with damage to that truck still. But a lot can happen here in 15 laps.
Yep, Reynolds, we got him here on the car inside camera. He's trying to get settled in, moving around in the seat a bit, getting ready for this last run.
John Kay says, go get one, Kyle. I think I know who he's rooting for. 15 to go. Not a great restart for Kyle Zittel. John Kay is right behind him and now is going to look underneath.
Yeah.
Stickers McQueen with reverse psychology saying Rodney Matney should hit the wall.
Well, that's about how you got to do it here on the channel. Whoa, they're out big time. Trouble.
Oh, man. And if Rodney Matney's involved in that, I'm going to quit on the spot. Just
It's
for the record.
Paul Sargent, Michael Dean.
And Michael Dean.
Wow, that's such a great-looking truck, too. Now it's got scuff marks all over that right side.
Dean trying to sneak around the outside of Paul Sargent there. And they just come together off of the turn. I think Dean down a little bit, Paul up a little bit, and they just come together.
Yeah, we'll back it up here. Both of them working the top side here. Paul, I think, just got a little bit loose here into the corner. You can see he's much slower than Dean. And he gets loose, and then he's kind of trying to chase it up the racetrack. Not much room for Dean to work with here on the outside, and they come together. Everybody else does a great job of getting out of the way.
And right after you cut to the replay, Michael Dean sent it full speed on purpose into the pit retaining wall and exploded the truck. So he is done for the night.
Well, let's go ahead and give him his due and watch it here on the replay. How about that?
Can we play some classical music over this? That is a shame for Dino. He was having a really good run tonight. But that's the nature of the beast here with 5 to 6 lanes to work with.
While we're setting the stage, I want to try to find that incident with Vroman and Reynolds.
Good luck, but I believe in you.
Oh, I think I got it here.
All right.
This is out of turn 4, and Reynolds on the bottom just gets loose.
Nice.
And Vroman gets... Oh, wow. Yeah, no kidding, that was a hard hit. My goodness. Vroman just barely gets into the back of the 38 after the 38 gets loose. Actually, I'm not even sure he touched him. The 38 is just super loose here, trying to corral the truck. Slams into the side of the 00. Steve Vroman in the 00 goes into the wall. And yeah, I mean, that was big time hit there. So this is what has put Nathan Reynolds back just inside the top 20 right now. He's in 19th.
Reynolds picked up a couple of spots, obviously, from the accident. Andy Policky says that his car inside camera has fallen off of his computer. So maybe be careful going to that one.
I don't know. I kind of want to look at it now. I'll do a little check here on my
A wellness check on Andy Policky.
Oh, it's in a great position. I mean, it's
he got it fixed.
It's fallen off of where it normally is, but he must have picked it up and propped it up for us.
Mm. See, I was hoping to get a foot cam so I could get some throttle inputs for the next time I race here.
No, we're just getting the Ryan Dye style shot here from the bottom right.
That always works.
Somebody I didn't put the car inside camera on coming to the last restart for no good reason. My mistake is Kyle Zittel. Still starting in the top 4 here. Inside row. He starts behind John Kay this time. So those two have been reversed.
And crucially, Kevin Sargent started to the outside of Kyle Zittel on the last restart. Kevin was the only driver to come down pit road under this caution. So he is outside of the top 20, but looking to make up some time here. Coming to 11 laps to go on the restart. Policky with control of the field on the outside, battling John Kay for the win, possibly for the points championship. And Zittel and Peterson trying to play spoiler. Kay to the top right away. Zittel and Peterson battling side by side for third.
Zittel better restart here. He's up into third past Peterson. Single file for the top side. Gunter trying to look underneath Salamone. Salamone shuts the door. And Flinky Roberts is up here to 7th now. What a run. Oh, Peterson super loose off of 4 here.
It's all happening. These restarts are insane at Auto Club.
Peterson and Salamone side drafting each other. Here comes
3 wide.
68, Flinky Roberts.
Oh, that's not going to work. Contact. How do they hang on to it? Ellison goes through the middle of 3 wide behind them. The Salamone with a sigh of relief over the radio. As Peterson underneath of Zittel now, John Kay fading into their clutches, all while Andy Policky trying to set sail on the field. Holy cow, 3 wide for second.
Kay slid right up in front of the 53, but it's going to work out for him. He gets some help here from Kyle Zittel on the outside. 3 wide here again, 4 wide here and 1.
Oh, Peterson hits the brakes in the nick of time not to tag Kyle Zittel, who is going to get a 2-1.
What a
Paul
power-
Ellison. Oh, we're going 4 wide. Flinky all the way down to the bottom. Oh, Salamone rolls out of it this time. Ellison.
Oh, my.
Oh,
Roberts up the track a bit.
Paul Ellison is the fastest truck on the track. He set the purple lap of the race last time around. He is making some serious moves.
And behind them, it's the Blue Squadron from Star Wars. I don't know how none of them have gotten together. We are 4, almost 5 wide here behind him.
Maxwell Carter!
contact!
Burgers! There they go! That is the big one. We saw that one coming. Maxwell is going to make a little contact with Burgert.
Oh,
That must
Nathan.
send Carter up into Nathan Reynolds. Oh, no.
Reynolds, big time damage. He already had some, was in a bad spot, but even more so now.
Garrett Rainey was in that, as well as Kevin Sargent, who had just pit from the top 5. Wow. I mean, not to maim, but championship implications here. Reynolds already having a bad night. It just got a lot worse.
Well, we were already talking about it. I don't know how it hadn't happened already. That restart was absolutely bonkers. And it ends up going up in flames here.
Wow.
As expected.
I mean, that's an almost unwinnable position that Maxwell is in right there.
I mean, yeah, we're 4 wide. Carter, Maxwell, Berger, and Gainey in succession. And Maxwell just drifts up a bit into Berger, puts him down into Carter, and, well, the rest is history here. Blue Squadron did not take out the Death Star this time.
This
Oh,
is a
boy.
crazy race. This has been insane. I don't know what else to say at this point. I love Auto Club with every fiber of my mortal being.
Man, we saw some absolutely bonker moves there. I think the big one for me was the absolute power move from Kyle Zittel. He got a 2-for-1 there in turns 1 and 2, just powered around the outside of Peterson and got a huge run off the corner.
So,
Policky Roberts is up to 6th, by the way. He's up 23 spots tonight.
and he'll start to the outside of an ailing John Kay. So that's maybe what Flink needs to move up into the top 5. Just to point out here as well, Policky, of course, his championship adversaries are not having good nights. This is the kind of night that Policky is needed. Maybe he doesn't even need the win, although certainly is going to take it if it's presented to him. I think the real problems are Kyle Zittel, who you mentioned had a good run last night in Truck 200, but could not get it done. And Luke Peterson, who had a fantastic run last week in a hard charge late in the race at Dover to pick up his second career podium. He is riding a wave of momentum. And Paul Ellison was the fastest truck on the track that entire last green flag run. And the 55 is up to 4th. So Policky's got company up front is the long short of it.
I guess the good news is he gets to control this restart and hope that the vultures there behind him take each other out before they can get to him.
Ryan Dye with a good programming note in the chat. Yeah, this is crazy, but, you know, we are also, by the way, in Talladega next week for the penultimate round of the championship.
Not like anything ever happens there.
No, never has and never will. But, you know, watch next week anyway, just in case. It should only be about 7 times crazier than this. That just feels right. 7 times?
Lucky number.
Lucky number. Unlucky for some, but lucky for us, and we're the broadcasters, so, you know. Oh boy, settle in, folks. 4 to go. Policky in control. Zittel to his outside. Peterson and Ellison on row 2. Good getaway for Policky. As Peterson going to slide up and clear himself off of Zittel, but it opens the door for Paul Ellison.
awfully close. Zittel should be able to give a great push here to Peterson. Ellison, you mentioned it, fastest truck on the track before the caution came out. He is looking to do the same here. He's underneath of the 53 right now, drifting up the track just a bit.
3 laps to go. This field is in tatters, quite literally. But they might get a little more torn up before the end of this one as Ellison and Zittel come together. Here is Luke Peterson underneath the Policky, but Andy should get the run here off the corner.
Peterson drifts up in front of Zittel again. The caution is out.
And I'm not sure where.
A lot of trucks slow here behind.
Oh, John Kay got turned.
Oh, my.
It was actually Nathan Paluota turning Will Salamone up into John Kay. And I think Brantley Gainey gets a piece of it as well. I thought they were running awfully close together, but I didn't see the wreck happen as it happened as soon as I turned away. Man, oh man, we're going to overtime. Let's see why.
I had to back it way up here from the yellow. My apologies, but we'll get it running here in just a second. Here's the grouping, and we saw them all bunched together right before incident. Awfully close here. They're 3 wide coming into turn 1. And just not a lot of room to work with here. Salamone gets turned by Paluota right up into the back of John Kay. And the front side of Brantley Gainey. Gainey gets taken out big time, but holy cow. What a save from John Kay. He keeps it out of the wall and keeps himself from spinning. I mean,
John Kay just asked you specifically if you caught that. And yes, we did.
I have now, yes. Everybody needs to see it. I just showed them twice, so I hope that everybody enjoys that one. That is a hell of a piece of driving there from the 2. Now it gets very interesting because we have some folks coming in. I think they'll have a set of tires left. A little bit of damage as well. But if you're in the back and you got a set left, this is the time to use them. Oh my, we'll do it again.
It's certainly chippy over the radio. It has been for about the back half of this race, and now the race is a little bit longer. Not what Policky wanted to see, as he was getting away pretty nicely from Peterson, Ellison, and Zittel, who are scrapping away behind.
Yeah, it was a great restart, and we talked about it, how he wanted those guys behind him to battle, and sure enough, they were. Now he has to do it again. Hope he gets another good restart. Hope that everybody battles behind again. And I think everybody out there in YouTube land knows just how wild this is about to be. 21 people watching right now. So thanks to everybody that's tuning in. This is about to get good. If you like what you see, support all of the series that we broadcast for. Subscribe to the channel. It's free. It helps us out. But more than anything, just thank you for tuning in.
Absolutely. It's not about to get good. It's been good with some cautions in the mix there as well. But the racing has been fantastic. That's Auto Club, baby.
I should say it's about to get wild.
Yeah,
Because you're right.
I think we're in line there.
It has been fantastic up to this point, but it's just about to get a little crazy. And by a little, I mean a lot.
After the save there, John Kay is going to line up in 8th on this restart. Policky and Peterson on row 1, Zittel Ellis in row 2, Roberts and Palawoda on row 3. Matney is now in the top 10. In 7th, John Kay was outside in 8th. Kyle Dumig and Eric Breeding round out your top 10. Green-white checkered attempt number 1 of 3. If we need them. Policky saying, let this be the only one. These drivers are short on patience, and this field is short on trucks at the end of this one. Green flag, a shot from Zittel already up to Policky.
Another good restart here for Policky. Peterson always gets a little loose there off the apron. He won't be able to get in front of Kyle Zittel. We are 3 wide here for second.
Ellison.
Oh,
problems.
Contact in the back.
Oh, man. I think I saw Corey Rutherford involved in that one.
Pascal Samard as well. I think those are the two that were mostly involved.
I think Pascal's trying to work the truck up the track a little bit, maybe loses a little bit of traction and goes right up in front of Corey. And the caution is out in overtime. Remember when we said we never had a caution here before the start of this race?
Yeah.
And I literally put in our script jinx next to that statistic, and we certainly did that.
Yeah, we've done it for sure.
Yep. Oh, we did it. We certainly did it.
And we've seen this time and time again tonight. Drivers coming off of turn number 2 on the outside, just trying to get to the outside of that truck right on that next line below him, and that truck just drifts up the track a bit. Not much room to work with. Samard ends up getting the worst of it. Yep, it's 9th caution of the evening, and we have more than made up for the lack of cautions in the first 2 editions of the Venom Truck Series here at Auto Club.
Yeah, 1 or 2 was going to be passable. We're on number 9, is that what you said?
Yes. We are nearly to double digits now.
I stopped keeping track after 3.
Shout out to the Rain Man and the chat as well. Burn tires and blow engines. We've certainly done that here tonight.
Yes.
Maybe not quite done.
No, I don't think so. Brantley Gainey has got the free pass, but he just ran his truck up into the wall. So that doesn't help. The good news for him, though, is he'll be in 21st. Wow. This is this has been a night here.
Speaking of someone paying for cautions, just a little sidebar. If we get to 500 subscribers, there may be an opportunity for viewers to actually pay for cautions to come out, but we'll have to cross that bridge when we get there.
Viewer-controlled chaos stream.
So if you want to experience that absolute madness, bring some friends along, or maybe hit the subscribe button with your alt account.
I'm subscribed with 3 alt accounts. Ha ha ha. I'm the only one, though.
Yes, Tommy Cook is subscribed with 3 alt accounts. Thomas Cook subscribed with 3 alt accounts as well.
Jan Van Leer says we need to play the Benny Hill theme song, which is Yakety Sax, for those who probably know it better by that name. I think Jan is thinking this restart is going to be a bit of a circus. And you know what? It might be. I'm not going to discount that. I think to say all bets are off, they were off about 5 cautions ago.
Yeah, they've been off for a while.
This is green-white checkered attempt number 2 of 3. And remember, I believe we're on auto cautions here. So the third green-white checkered could end under caution, and the race would be over at the time of caution. So that is something to keep in mind should we not make it back to the white flag here. That should just do nothing but ramp up the intensity, and it just a snake that's eating its own tail at that point.
Well, it's 2 of our car inside drivers starting on the front row. Kyle Zittel starting on the outside of Andy Policky.
Policky and Zittel on the front row. Two to go. Not a good start there for Kyle Zittel. Peterson right back underneath, trying to take second away. He is clear. He's got Andy Policky in his crosshairs.
Zittel looking for a big run here. Down the backstretch. Not quite as big as he would like. Here comes Nathan Palawoda. He will dive to the bottom here to try to take the 4th spot from Ellis and sends it in hard.
Will we make it back to the line? White flag, 2 miles to go at Auto Club.
The snake is on here for Andy Policky. Peterson and Zittel follow. Here goes Peterson. Policky covers it off on the bottom. Zittel railing the top, looking for the run.
Policky trying to be on cruise control. Peterson looking for one last-ditch effort. Snaking down the back straightaway. Peterson going to go up top. They're all working for position behind Andy Policky, who has clawed his way back into the championship battle with his 3rd victory of the season. Policky is back to victory lane at Auto Club.
And they're wrecking behind. John Kay was in it.
John Kay will cross the line in 17th after getting spun all the way down into the grass on the front straightaway after contact with Corey Rutherford and Will Salamone.
Wow. Talk about big-time championship implications. Andy Policky basically called his shot a week ago, said he felt extremely good about his chances here at Auto Club, and he has delivered.
And, I mean, an unrivaled race in terms of chaos. Some great racing, some just absolute debauchery. But the result is the same nonetheless. Andy Policky in 1st, John Kay 17th, Nathan Reynolds 24th. And a huge swing in the favor of the reigning champion.
And the 32 deservedly burning the house down all the way down the front stretch. Kyle Larson style.
I'd be impressed to see the burnout lap here at the 2 mile, but not impossible. He was the last driver to win here in season 3.
And here he comes.
Way back in the day.
Pull it into victory lane. Love this feature of Auto Club here on the sim.
February 15th of 2022, Andy Policky won here. He is the next driver to hit victory lane again here in season number 6. 3rd win of the season for Andy Policky. 2nd consecutive podium for Luke Peterson. He's going from third last week to second this week. And maybe P1 next week at Talladega. We'll just have to see how he feels about that. Kyle Zittel in for a podium here tonight. A great run for him. That is his best finish of the season for sure. Paul Ellison will finish in the 4th position. That is his 3rd top 5 of the season. Nathan Palawota will climb his way back into the top 5 here tonight in the, what was the Bubonic Bomb Booty 170, the race name that he landed on here tonight for Auto Club. Rodney Matney, he's back to his top 10 ways. He finishes in 6th. Flinky Roberts, a 7th place finish for him here tonight. That is his best finish of the season. Brody Gunter keeps the streak of good finishes alive here with a P8. Kyle Dumig, first top 10 of the season, an outstanding run for him. And Eric Breeding will round out your top 10 in the Turn 200 truck. A good-looking truck and a good finish for him here tonight. Kenneth Graves, despite being involved in one of the first cautions to open things up, he will take an 11th place finish here tonight. That is his best career finish. Corey Rutherford with the contact there at the end of the race will finish in 12th. Cole Maxwell in 13th. Jeremy Carter 14th. Garrett Rainey 15th. Will Salamone 16th. John Kay down in 17th. Pascal Samard and Paul Sargent, your lead lap running trucks at the end all the way through the 19th position. 20th for Brantley Gainey, 21st for Kevin Sargent. TJ Bartell 3 laps down at 22nd. Jan Van Leer, I'm not sure. I think he was running at the end. 7 laps down to 23rd. Nathan Reynolds, DNF in 24th. Tyler Berger, 25th. Gary Clark, 26th. Michael Dean, 27th. Steve Roman, 28th. Michael Krall, 29th. Ryan Dye, 30th. Oz Kinar and Mark Dillon Jr., 31st and 32nd. And that is the way they will finish up here tonight at Auto Club. But we get to hear from some happy drivers, I think. It's podium interview time, and we get to start off with the decent one with a more than decent result here tonight. It's Kyle Zittel. Welcome back to Booth 200, partner. How are we feeling after whatever that was here at Auto Club?
Yeah, up front, it was fun. Up front, man, battling with Andy and even Nathan and Steve, before the green flag pit stops was fun. I really forgot how much I really like this track. It doesn't seem like it would conform to my driving style, but I really like it here, and I had a lot of fun.
And see, that's the opposite of what Matt and I were thinking. That this tends, especially at the beginning of runs, it tends to run pack style. And pack style races, as everybody should know by this point, are usually your bread and butter.
Yeah, no, definitely. With trying to stay, I was trying to stay high in 1 and 2, and trying to get to the bottom a little bit more in 3 and 4. But at the start of the runs, yeah, I mean, you're just kind of smash gas, turn left, and stay tight up to the guy in front of you. And yeah, it worked out pretty well.
Matt, what do you got for our buddy Kyle here?
Man, congrats on the P3. It was hard fought. I mean, you were up there in the top 5 pretty much all night, or at least fighting for the position anyways. You had a really great long run. I feel like, I don't know, it doesn't seem like it's usually your MO, but how did you feel in that long run tonight? It seemed like that was kind of where you made up a lot of your ground there on that long green flag run.
Yeah, getting behind Nathan and Steve and Andy, I felt like where I was lifting, where I was getting back on it was really sticking. And a couple times I lost it, and the gap really didn't get too much bigger. But pulling up on him and staying there, definitely had a plan. And when Andy came down to pit, I knew it was go time and time to get in the pits and get fresh tires and try to stay with him and with everybody else.
Hey, man, it's your first podium of the season, your 5th of your career. Outstanding run here tonight. We knew this one was coming. It's just a question of when it was going to happen. Anybody you want to shout out or thank here tonight?
I want to thank my teammates, Will, Ryan. They stuck with me. They were cheering me on, giving me, motivation. I want to shout out to my wife for putting up with me, putting up with all this. She actually was very excited to finish 3rd. She thought I won with how excited I was. My parents, shout out to them. They're usually watching. And, everybody else that watches this whole league, you guys for putting everything together. Can't thank you guys enough.
Congrats on a good run tonight, as well as good run last night. We didn't get to talk to you. Outstanding work here in the last couple of nights, and keep up the good work, partner.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
And we'll get to talk now to the man they call Preach.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
And it did it again.
One position, boys. That's two.
2 weeks in a row, the cream has risen to the top. Luke Peterson back in booth 200, partner. Are you pumped up or what?
Dude, I am. Not only is my heart rate at 100 miles an hour, not only have I sweated through this poor Carolina Hurricanes t-shirt so much that you can't read it, but I have to go to the bathroom really, really bad. So that wasn't fun. That was scary, and I got to pee.
2 overtimes are never friendly to the old bladder, but way to stick it out here tonight, partner. I mean, a great charge up through the field there late in this race. And I don't know. I hate this question, but what do you think you needed to do to get it done there at the end? What more do you think you needed?
I really think that I think two green white checkers before the first one, or the original natural one. I got to Andy's inside, and I said it to him just now. I really think the only way that I get him there is to drive through him. I really had to, Hamlin him into the wall? Isn't that the correct term? I can't remember exactly, but I would have had to dove it really hard and pushed him all the way to the top, and you just don't do that. It's not worth that. Other than that, he had the right line. He was going to cut me when I got my run out of 1 and 2, and in 3 and 4 we'd equalize. So it would have been me sitting it way harder than I was comfortable with, especially when there's a pretty little 2 just sitting right in front of me.
A respectful finish then, in a race where it's questionable how much we saw that.
Yeah. Anyway,
Matt, what do you got for Luke here?
Congrats on the podium. Great to get to talk to you 2 weeks in a row here. You didn't have to rattle Andy Poliski's cage, but you were in the cage with all the other drivers in the thick of it all night. What was it like battling there inside the top 5? I mean, it was just absolutely bonkers all night long.
It was crazy all night long. There were moves, but with about 10 to go, and from there on out through the green white checkers, it was a whole new level of time to go. I mean, I'm pretty sure at one point John Kay was on the top, Zittel was on my right front quarter, and I'm pretty sure poor Will was in the grass below me. I know we were 4 wide in turn 1, and I'm like, please, Lord, just not now. Just exit this turn, and we'll figure it out in turn 3. It'll be fine. And we got there somehow, but I'm telling you, that's some of the most intense pack racing I've done that wasn't a super speedway, and it doesn't lend itself to a super speedway because of the runs you can get. So it was crazy.
I mean, looking back on your stats all the way back to Homestead, you are on, I think, the longest top 10 streak in the field right now. This is 5 top 10s in a row, including now 3 top 5s and 2 podiums. You finished 3rd last week, 2nd this week. That means a win next week at Talladega. Is that what I'm hearing?
I did give you all a preview last night of how well I can push. So I think if I'm being pushed, yes. And Talladega is the Alabama gang's home track. And as their sister team, I fully expect to be somewhere up there.
There you go.
It's coming.
You heard it here first. We'll have to look for this 89. I don't think we'll have to look far, though. Shout-outs for you here tonight, partner. An outstanding run for you.
Usual shout-outs will be to my beautiful wife, Kim, my parents, Tommy and Karen, and my sister, Tiffany. Shout out to Alabama Gang and Super Kick. And since I forgot it last week, and I'm in this plain maroon and orange truck, shout out Virginia Tech, my school, my alma mater. Go Hokies. Let's get started this week on Saturday with ODU.
Well, you did the Hokies proud here tonight. A P2 finish, and maybe we'll go get you one next week at Talladega. But party down here tonight with a P2.
Appreciate it, boys. Y'all have a good one.
Boy, oh boy, I tell you what, it is about time we get this gentleman back up at booth 200 as a winner. We had a rather unfortunate interview with him last week after things all went south, but Andy Policky is back on top and in dominant fashion after a fantastic run at Auto Club. Welcome back to the booth, and welcome back to Victory Lane.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, it feels good to be back, especially after a bad week. So great bounce back, and hopefully it looked like it might have been a good points day too. So it's going to really make this points battle really, really tight.
It absolutely was a good points day. I just thought to pull that up right before you said that, and you are now down by 4 points only heading into Talladega next week. But that's next week. Tonight, you said you had some confidence after what was your worst race of the season last week. You had some confidence rolling into tonight, and boy, you put everything in place.
Yeah, thank you. I love this track. The last time we came here, I was really, really good at it. I think I led a lot of laps and end up winning. So, going back, it's a good track for me. Works really well with my driving style. I have a line that absolutely works perfect for it. So, I knew I was going to be fast. Put some practice laps in, quite a bit of practice laps in to make sure I was going to have a decent qualifying too. So to put it all together, but yeah, it feels great to put a whole race together for the first time in a while.
I mean, I know you're going to thank them eventually once we get to your thank yous at the end of it. But in that long green flag run, we had fantastic racing up front, first of all. But second of all, you had some great help behind you with Steve Roman, who was playing disruptor with Nathan Reynolds and company behind.
Absolutely. Steve was a great teammate tonight. There are a lot of times he could have passed me and led, but he stayed behind me and kept disrupting Nathan. Also, hats off to Brody. He our satellite team, alliance team. He did the same thing. They ran Nathan hard and kept him behind me. Let me just kind of focused on what was out in front.
Matt, what do you got for a race winner here?
Well, you called your shot. You got it done. Unbelievable job here. You're out front all night long. Were you at all worried there on the multiple restarts there at the end? It seemed like you looked pretty confident on the track. Were you as confident in the cockpit?
I wasn't as confident in the cockpit as it looked like I was on the track. I was very worried I would have a repeat of Richmond, where I would stay out and everybody else would pit, or vice versa. I would pit and everybody else would stay out. At the end, I just kind of said, I'm going to put it all on the table and whatever happens, happens. And, with a lot of quickie cautions, it really played right into the strategy there. I know a couple guys that pit, it took them quite a while to get back. Saw Paul coming back through there and basically just had to manage the restarts, trying to keep him a couple cars behind me. So,
wow, it was a wild race. You were up front for most of it. 58 laps led here tonight en route to your third victory of the season. Who do you want to thank and shout out here tonight?
I thank my team and my alliance. Like I said, they did a great job helping me tonight. Thank my sponsors, Nissan Wichita Falls. They're backing me every single week. My family, my daughter, and my wife always root me on. The league, like I said, we had a lot of great racing tonight up front. It was a lot of fun on that long green flag run. And then you guys in the booth, every time I go back and watch it, it's great to watch.
Well, this is certainly going to be an entertaining one to watch back. You somehow don't forget that you won this race. But, man, another win here at Auto Club. It's your second of your career. It's your 14th overall career victory. Go party hard. You did fantastic work, and now you're right back in the thick of the championship battle. Good luck in the next couple of weeks. I know we'll be talking to you again soon.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to Talladega. Wow. That's
Auto Club. That's the good stuff. I don't even know where to begin here, Matt. I'm just going to turn it over to you, and you can go ahead and do your thing.
Well, I mean, I'll get to thanking everybody here in a second because we had a big group watching and a lot of people chatting. So thank you guys for chatting with us here tonight. But goodness gracious, I mean, we usually expect a good race here at Auto Club. That was just spectacular. I don't know how else to say it. It may be a signature race here on the channel at Turn 200 here. We have a couple of them right now. I think that might be a third. Wow, just absolutely spectacular from everybody here tonight. And spectacular from the people that chatted with us here. Gonna give a shout out to John K at JK Gaming, West Brown, Stickers McQueen, love that name by the way, Chloe Teixeira, Lizard Folk, Caitlin McLaughlin, who else is in here? Ryan Dye, Lindsay G. I know Jacob Nagy was in here at some point as well. The Rain Man was in here right here at the end too. John K says this one ought to be interesting to go back and watch. And yes, I fully agree. And wow, what a points battle we have on our hands going into what could be the most chaotic race of the season at Talladega.
Absolutely. Chaos abundant in the next 4 nights of racing here on Turn 200. Tomorrow night for the Daredevil Series, it is Monza combined without the first chicane. High speeds. No room to work with. Absolute chaos sure to ensue tomorrow night. Then on Thursday, we are back to Daytona with Maximum Velocity Racing League. Truck 200 next Monday is also back to Daytona, but it's the Daytona Road Course. That is going to be crazy. And then, like we've been plugging all night long, the penultimate race of season number 6 for the Venom Truck Series next Tuesday night is at Talladega. That's the next 4 nights of racing for you that we got here on Turn 200. If that didn't sell you on this channel, I don't know what will. So if you haven't already, please scroll down and hit subscribe. Every little bit helps in our quest overall to get to 1,000 subscribers, but also some fun stuff waiting once we get to 500 subscribers. So do us a favor and hit the subscribe button, hit the like on the stream as well. Every little bit helps us spread the message of good truck racing action here on the iRacing platform on YouTube. So appreciate everybody's support and continued support of the drivers of the Venom Truck Series. They all appreciate it. We appreciate them, and we appreciate you. It's a nice little love triangle we got going on here. That's all we got here for everybody with the Venom Truck Series. And for the GOAT, Matt Williamson, I'm Tommy Cook. Until we meet again, we're saying so long from Virtual Auto Club Speedway, where Andy Policky has won his 3rd race of the season. It's the Bubonic Bomb Booty 170.